Hello and welcome to another video where I suggest good resources, good scholarly resources that might benefit the serious Bible student of the Biblical Unitarian persuasion. My name is Dustin Smith and I'm offering some suggestions that I think have been very helpful for me in my own study, things that I actually have used, not just things that I bought, and things that have been widely accepted in the critical scholarly world. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at commentaries within the Pentateuch. Pentateuch is just a fancy name for the 5 scrolls, and it means the first 5 books of the Bible, first 5 books of the Old Testament: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Okay, I do think it's important that Christians have a good selection of commentaries out of the Old Testament. It's really common, I've noticed, that people interested in the New Testament tend to have more commentaries, far more commentaries of the New Testament than the Old Testament, despite the fact that the Old Testament is 77% of your Bible. So if you think about it, you probably should actually have a larger Old Testament collection than your New Testament collection, but it depends on your interest and your research specialties. I do want to give a mention to a particular series that I think is very good. I mentioned this in my last video, but up here you have the New Interpreter's Bible Commentary. Okay, it's a series here, and my series is actually in 12 volumes. I do think that they've actually gone into reprints, and they've actually removed some of the articles, and they've tried to condense these, so you might not find them in the same order as in like volume 1 having Genesis through Leviticus. It might have changed, so just be aware of that. I'm just saying that because I think if you're one of those persons that likes to have a particular series, not all series are great, and the general rule of thumb is that you want to go for the best commentaries within each series rather than sticking with an entire series. But if you do want just one series, that is the one that I would highly recommend. I know some people think that the Word Biblical Commentary is the best series, but I would disagree. I do think, as a whole, the New Interpreter's Bible Commentary is the best series for you to invest in if you just want to get one series. Okay, so with that out of the way, I'm going to start moving on to our collection of recommended commentaries from Genesis through Deuteronomy. Okay, this is my, let me make sure I'm looking correctly. This is my collection of Old Testament commentaries. It's basically from the top all the way down here to the bottom. So I have a good collection of Old Testament commentaries. My Genesis set is actually pretty good. It starts from the beginning and it goes all the way up to, looks like here. Okay, so quite a lot. I'm not going to give these to you in any particular order. I'm just going to kind of start over and tell you the things that have been really beneficial to me and things that I would recommend. Okay. First one, this is not really a commentary, it's just a good study. The Lost World of Genesis 1 by John Walton. Very, very, very good at situating Genesis chapter 1 in its context, in its literary context. Very, very good. Gordon Wenham in the Word Biblical Commentary is a very good commentary. I would recommend that one. Let's see. I wasn't too happy about these. These are a little bit old. Westerman here, 3 commentaries in that series, is very good. I would probably say it's within, those are in my top 3 Genesis commentaries. Okay, they're translated, I believe, from German into English, but the translation is very good, and the scholarly resources in it are very good. Nahum Sarna in the JPS commentary on Genesis, also very good. I would also put that in my top 3. That is actually written from a Jewish perspective, so you don't have to worry about silly things like preexistence or Jesus being back in the Old Testament. He's definitely not going to say anything like that. That's a very good one, again, in my top 3. Walt Brueggemann, that's the Interpretation series, is a good series overall in the Old Testament, in the Hebrew Bible, and this one is more of a pastoral commentary, focused a lot on practical application, but Walter Brueggemann is a top-notch Old Testament scholar. Okay, John Walton also did a commentary on Genesis in the NIV application commentary. I would strongly recommend against the NIV Bible as a translation, but his comments on Genesis are very good. I would also say that the Arnold commentary on Genesis is very good. Von Rod, that's kind of more of a historical relic. It's pretty dated at this point. So that's just kind of more of another interest. It looks like even John Walton has a smaller commentary on Genesis. So I would say that if you were going for top three commentaries on Genesis, I would stick with the Word Biblical Commentary. I would go with Westerman's 3 volumes of Genesis, and I would also go with the JPS commentary on Genesis with Nahum Sarna. I need to pick up the pace a little bit because this is already turning into a long video. Let's move on to Exodus. Okay, a lot of good things with Exodus. Okay, this is a newer series right here. This actually it's got 4 volumes, but you really only need to buy the first 3 on Exodus by Peters. Okay, very good, I think. Dozeman is also an established Old Testament scholar. I've actually found that in the Erdman's Critical Commentary series to be a very good commentary on Exodus. Durham has also been good in the Word Biblical Commentary. And probably my top go-to, my number 1 commentary on Genesis would actually be here at the Anchor Bible Commentary. You get 2 volumes. You get Exodus 1 through 18 and then Exodus 19 through 40. So those probably I would say top 3 would be these 3 right here, but also I haven't worked enough with these. I've actually only recently got this last volume, but what I've seen so far, I've been very impressed. I'd like to work with it more before I move it into my top 3. Let's move on to Leviticus, okay? One of my top considerations would be right here by Jacob Milgrom, 3 volumes in the Anchor Bible series. Very good, very, very good on Leviticus, okay? Let's see, Hartley in the Word Biblical Commentary is also very good. I probably would say those would be kind of like my top 2, if I had just kind of put in the top 2. And again, special consideration for the interpretation commentary on Leviticus if you're interested in a critical look at the text, but also in the pastoral side of preaching and practical applications. Okay, moving on, Book of Numbers. I will say this, I have been disappointed with Word Biblical Commentary on Numbers. So I would not recommend that. I would, though, Baruch Levine, very, very good. Definitely in my top 3 for Numbers in the Anchor Bible series. This one just doesn't have a dust jacket. That's why it looks different. So you got Numbers 1 through 20 and then 21 through 36. Okay. I also think it's interesting. John Goldengay has these little commentaries here, which is kind of the Bible for everyone. He does the Old Testament series. I know N.T. Wright does the New Testament series. His stuff on the Old Testament is actually very good as well. So that's another smaller series you might be interested in picking up. Let's move to Deuteronomy, okay? Word Biblical Commentary is good, but it's also a little confusing because it started off here, Christensen published, and I guess Word Commentary, they did 1 through 11, and then you see in the second edition, they did 1 through chapter 21. And then, of course, in the next one, you did 21 through 34. So if you're going to pick this one up, do not buy this one because that doesn't help, okay? You're just going to waste your money. You need to pick up these 2 right here, okay? I talked about Walt Brueggemann already. It's a smaller commentary on Deuteronomy, but also very good. Probably not as thorough, but still good nonetheless, okay? From here, I would probably go to Tigay in the JPS commentary on Genesis. That's definitely going to be in my top 3. Very, very good, very, very thorough. The JPS commentaries are usually pretty good. They're for Old Testament stuff, obviously, they're going to be very, very good. So I would definitely recommend that. So those are going to be my suggestions of commentaries for serious Bible students in regard to Genesis through Deuteronomy. Our next video, we're going to continue to work through the Old Testament, through the Hebrew Bible, in order to move through and look at those suggestions. Again, these are not, I'm not being paid to make these endorsements. These were not given to me as free commentaries to where they say, hey, just endorse these things. I'm actually telling you them because I've read through quite a bit of them. I own a lot, and some of them are not very good. Some of them I just don't really enjoy, or they've got a lot of mistakes, or they're just not very critical, or they have a lot of presuppositions that I think are problematic. And the ones that I am recommending, again, are ones that I've used, that I've benefited from, and that are well established in the modern commentary scholarly community. So hopefully it's been a good, informative video for you. Be sure to subscribe if you would like to get more updates on these sort of videos. And thank you so much for watching, and best wishes on your Bible study.